time, and this will be recorded. So hopefully everyone can hear and see me okay and see each other as well.
Indeed.
And awesome. So we'll get started because again, we do have the recording. So we're going to be good to go. So this is the Arts, Culture, and Elevation Education Collective, the first open house. So we are super duper excited to just kick the ball, get the ball rolling, kick it, toss it, whatever requires. We're just excited to be in this space to say, okay, it's go time for our community. And so we're going to go ahead and we'll introduce ourselves. But just we would also like to know a little bit about you, your name, child's grade level. That'll pop up on the screen. So we'll have that. Okay, so introduce yourselves by sharing your name, your child's grade level or learning stage, because some people don't go by the grade level. And one thing you wish every learning space would honor, understand about your child's identity, culture, or way of learning. So any of those, so we can get a feeling for who is in the space. And even those watching the replay, please also comment, send that to us because we always like to know who we building for. Who are we building for? And that way we can make a stronger, a more solid foundation. So I am Mama Kemi. I'm a 20-year wife, mother, educator, entrepreneur, community giver. Let me see what's all there. I'm on my last scholar who is 17, has one more year. And I think just I wish that every learning space knew that there wasn't a one-stop shop, a catch-all for how all the scholars learn. And we've been in a great place to make that happen. We've had a chance to work with some great schools to make it happen. And now we are continuing the legacy. So Mama and Kabashile, I will allow you can go ahead and go next. And Mama Nita, if you ever is it Nita? I want to make sure I'm saying it right. If you're in a space to unmute or type in the chat, we would love to hear from you.
Jumbo. I am Mama Inkabashile. I I didn't quite hit 20, Mama Kimmy, but I was a wife. I still call myself a wife. Um, I am a mother of six. I have adult children, and I have all the way down to a 12-year-old in middle school. And hmm, um, oh, okay. So that's Apony, that's Murungisi, that is um uh Improbe Kaise, Sibusiso, Akani, and Coralina. Um,
Mo.
I've been homeschooling over 20 years. And uh what's one thing I wish every learning space would honor and understand about your child's identity, culture, and way of learning? Um, that that instructors allow themselves to learn along with the scholars, that it's not rigid. It's not I have all the answers. Um, Instructors that uh, that they have all the instructors have all the answers. Sometimes they don't have the answers. Sometimes the scholars have the answers. So being 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 flexible in that manner, that um, that instructors can learn from scholars as well as scholars can learn from their instructors.
All right, Mo. Wonderful. Is it Mama Nita or Netta? Let me make sure I'm saying it correctly.
Sorry. I'm always trying to figure out how to navigate the Zoom on my phone. Forgive. It's Nita. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Yeah,
Okay.
both we can hear you.
Yes.
So we're
So
ready.
I am Mama Nita. I am a wife, a mommy of two beautiful brown girls, Phoenix and Irie, and work full time from home and also homeschool. So yes, I'm all things, a lot of things. um, oh, Phoenix is 9. She will be 10 in late November. So according to, like in school ideology is that she would be in the 3rd grade, but we focus on teaching her both 3rd and 4th grade at a higher level, no matter what, right? Because we don't want that her late birthday to limit, what she's capable of. And Irie is 3. She just turned 3 this past September. So we're starting to kick up, more aspects of her learning. And what I wish it was the same sentiment as Mama Kemi is that the school systems understand that it's not one size fit all. Each child is different than the next. The way they learn, the style they learn in, the pace they learn in. So yeah, so I believe that's how really God led me to this homeschool journey, because this was not my plan. I always tell people, when they ask me, well, how do you do it and why do you do it? I'm like, listen, you're gonna have to take that up with somebody else that's higher than me, because this was God's plan. Me and my husband never saw this, but when COVID happened, the schools closed, and she was very little at the time. She's almost taller than me now. You did you want to say hi to Mama Kenny?
I know. I was wondering when you said Phoenix.
Right.
I was like, my Phoenix.
This is little Phoenix.
Oh, my baby.
She-
Oh, I
hitting
miss you
some
so
milestones. Just got her little
much. Oh, that's my baby right
Yeah.
there.
Yes. All right, let mommy finish. Okay. So
Okay,
yeah.
she is so
So
precious. That's my
here
girl.
we here we are, and it's hard. Sometimes, some days it's like, okay, God, you sure? Because but then it's there are days where I talk with other moms that are in school and just what's going on in the world, and it's just always a constant reminder, like, okay, this is why, you get to control this part of your child's life for as long as possible. So yes, and here's Irie. Did you want to say hi, sweetie?
All right. Hi, how are you? They are just so beautiful. I
She
just
said,
want to
I'm
hug
good.
them.
How are you?
Yes. Oh.
All right, go on. Y'all go play.
Oh my goodness.
Play.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Like I said, we had so many registered, and you're here. We're going to honor your time, and I will send everyone else the recording. So, the purpose of why we are here. Let me go back. This is our agenda for today that we're going to cover, and we're going to go. We're going to go at a pretty smooth pace. So today we're just going to talk about what is the arts, culture, and elevation program. Of course, we're going to talk about how did we get here. Because we all were aligned with different schools. So how did we get here? What the learning model is, what support we offer to the families, a little bit about the team that does live classes, Q&A session, and talk about enrollment. And so I'm going to go through that quickly, and you can stop me whenever because I get excited. So the Arts, Culture, and Education Collective started off really as a nonprofit. I had a nonprofit organization that had arts and dancing and all of that, and we did so many of those things. And then again, when the pandemic gave everyone an awakening, and then I decided that I really wanted to do some DIY stuff so I can be creative and learn and eventually move to the holistic side of things. And so I was like, yeah, the live teaching is wonderful. It takes a lot. So it started off as a solo venture. Then we realized, a group of educators, we were told in January that the school for which we were working would not be enrolling students in the fall. So it was like, what do we do with all this genius and talent? And so I was like, y'all, I have this space so we can all come together and put our businesses together. So collectively, we have 25 years in African centered worldview experience in public schools, home schools, virtual schooling, private tutoring, small group instruction, micro class, curriculum development, synchronous, asynchronous. We're just a group of powerhouse educators that are coming together to be of service of our community, to give value to our community. So, of course, our strongest things we like is cultural identity, spiritual character development. We talk about good character all the time, like we were doing when I had Phoenix in the classes. Connection to our ancestral wisdom, and so now it's a group of us that just coming together to do that. And holistic education. How does the mind, body, and everything work together? And when I say spirit, I mean the very essence of that child. They come with so much stuff, and we're like, whoa, I did that. I birthed that. Look at the big, beautiful energy that they have. And even in my work in the public school, I always say my pedagogy is teaching to the spirit of the child. Like what activates them? What are their gifts? What are the talents? What are the things that they understand and what's important to them? And that is important when I'm in the classroom. And I found a whole group of educators who that's the same for them. So we're coming together to make sure we have a safe and nurturing community. And coming from I education, we also have the social emotional part. What do we do with feelings? How do we tell stories that disempower us? We all have been through that training, and we all have been told how to integrate it into our classroom. And so that's another big thing that gives us the specialty in what we're doing. And then have education with a purpose. So this group, and some of them they have logos, people working on logos. We're coming together to build educational businesses that will thrive. So we're offering a place for parents who want to supplement or have not been able to find a school that teaches tradition with modern education, finding a program that aligns with their values and teachings, and then offering flexible learning opportunities. That's our goal. We want to be of service to our community. And so the different tracks that we have: arts, culture, education. We have a whole arts track. So if parents are just interested, like they do their own curriculum, they're taking the basics here, there, or wherever, we have just an arts track. It can be classes that they take any time of the day. Some of the classes might be DIY, like the digital arts classes. You follow along and you draw. And then we have our live classes. The ones here, so we'll have a mama that's offering Shakerade. She's actually, are you in Atlanta? Y'all in Atlanta? Okay, so y'all just came up for the conference. Okay, so Mama, she's offering Shaker Ray classes. I'm going to take the class so I can learn how to do my Shaker Ray and singing. We will have the storytelling classes. A dear sister, she does yoga and stretch. She tells a story, and she has beautiful stories. She connects it to music. She connects it to stories, and that's how they do their yoga. And so the children really love it. She does it all around in different homeschool communities, and it's a different type of yoga. They get the storytelling, they get our culture, and they get to stretch, and they get to listen to some music from our people. So she's very good with that. For the older ones, I have someone who's going to do voice lessons for anyone desiring to speak, sing, do anything with their voice. There's a vocal coach, actually my vocal coach. And so we talk about speaking and anything that you want to do with your voice. You'll be surprised the stuff that she helps me with. I'm like, okay. And so any professional speakers, she does that. Then we have the digital arts classes. There's also a live arts class. And then drum, there'll be live drum classes from my brother. He's from Senegal, but he lives here. So that's the arts track that can be combined with anything else. And so for the culture track, and we call it the culture track because it is African centered learning and highly infused with the culture from the diaspora that's infused in everything. It is really, it's all about us. And it's all about us, based on us, rooted on us. And so I'll be doing the ELA courses. There's a couple of us that be doing ELA courses, but mine, of course, is rooted in, of course, in the critical thinking, the creativity, community, and it's also rooted in that good character. We're going to continue to talk about good character. We're going to continue to and I'll bring in traditional stories of exemplars, the stories that but strong in EFI culture. And so these are the stories. This is how we deal with this. This is how we deal with that. It's not about perfection. It's about the things that we face. And sometimes, the good character skill is having courage. There are righteous wars that we need to undertake. And so we do that. And I'll also be working with some outside sources. I'm waiting to hear back on AP courses, having business like a dual enrollment. And of course, we have some our story stuff, working with retelling and healing stories. And how do we tell our stories that the public schools or the government has given us? And it's like, no, we need to tell our story a little bit different. We need to tell it so that we are empowered. So that is where my role would be. Mama Erica does the melanin sciences, just amazing with it. Mommy Kabashile, she'll talk more about her math roots. Baba Magwagwa high school math. Sewa Sydney is the bomb in Black literature and psychology, just Black psychology, based on Amos Wilson and different things like that. So she's great. Sewa Nolu is the sunshine in a screen. But Isi Zulu and Kiswahili, and she's just so loving. Mama Asha with the art, another beautiful soul. And Mama Adia she does the stories and stretch. She will also be starting a class just on George Washington Carver and every single thing that he did that can benefit us. And she has some awesome stories that I've never heard, and they are really inspiring. I'm like, and then another sister of mine, Okufumike, she will do also, hers is based on good character and culture and literacy. So we have so many people that will be pouring into the young people, and we're excited. So that's the culture track, which will be the more of the transcript stuff that parents are looking for. So that's what those tracks are. Then we have the elevation track, which gets our scholars. Again, I'm working on a business certification with the community college, which will be hybrid, the AP classes. Some of the scholars will do internships, and some of that will be helping with the educational YouTube channel. So some of the scholars will have their ELA class scholarship, because we're going to build a channel for us, by us, so that we can have, if we're talking about main idea, we have this calabash bowl. The sandwiches, I like the sandwich, the ice cream cone, we're going to use the calabash, and we're going to talk about what gets the main idea. So we'll be able to pull up YouTube videos with our face, our culture, and we can learn. And so that's one of the biggest things, an internship that'll be offered. Bridge courses. There are some dual enrollment students that we currently work with who we want to make sure we support them. Okay, you're taking psychology and this mainstream of PWI. Okay, here is what the psychology says on this end. So we support them so that they stay grounded, like in their first year. Some of them are doing dual enrollment, or their first year of college, so we can still anchor them. Because I always tell the story that I kind of lost my voice when I went to my PWI the first time. It was like, you should write like this, you should do this. And I stopped writing. And I actually didn't start writing again until the last few years. And so we want to make sure when even if they're at a HBCU, when they transition to college, that they have support still anchoring them so that they don't lose their voice. And the last elevation class is gym, like gym, but it's grounding, elevation, and movement. When we talk about, the resilience space in our culture, we talk about holistic health, and we move, we dance. So that's like the gym and health class, but it's called gym, grounding, elevation, and movement. So those are also some supplemental classes to uplift our scholars. So that's the 3 tracks that we have. And so, and please let me know if anyone has a question because I get excited. But let me go through this. Make sure I tell you about this. And so, how the sessions will run is we will have 8-week sessions. Then we will have that last week to kind of pull together some projects, and then a 1-week break in between sessions. One of the reasons is because we do want to make sure that there is a rest and recovery. I think that's very important. A rest and recovery. We went hard. We did all of this work. Now, and you showcased it. We will take like a little, and you might read in between that session. You know, you might take a chance to share with other people who may not have made it to a demonstration. You might be doing a show and tell that week. But we would take that week again from classes and then pick up again to give everybody a rest and recovery. We do have parent teacher conference meetings only after that session is over because we want parents to understand, even if your scholar is straight A's, we want to come and tell you. We want you to hear it. The things that they're working on, the things that they're saying, the things that's coming to their mind and their spirit. And so we do want that teacher parent connection so that, and it's so that happens once every 9 weeks. And we want to make sure, and it's a quick, like still 15 minutes, just take 15 minutes to talk to the teachers, and we want to make sure that there is that bond. Um, we will have the Canvas as the main system with access to additional supplemental apps. So they'll get a chance to use different things, Nearpod, quizzes, all kind of things that can enhance the learning experience. They'll have their own account. They'll be able to work on it in between classes, and it will enhance the learning experience. And while we do not have Euro-inspired holidays, I do realize that sometimes full time, you off on what's the one, President's Day? Sometimes you off on those days. And we want to give your children a chance to spend that day with you. And I think that's important too. And so we'll give it a comparable day. We do want to make sure that certain days line up because family time is very important to us. And so that's that about the general of how things would work. I know that's a very big question. Um, because, and let me pull up this sheet. Up, I need to give you one sheet I'm gonna put in the chat. And this is our informational sheet that I want you to have that has some of this information on there that you would take away. And I'm gonna say a bit about the learning spaces that we have. We have designed it so that the space can be, parents can decide what is the best learning arrangement for their child. So I'm going to put the Google Doc in there. And again, the learning spaces, the learning models that we are using is because, let me see if it switch. Wait till it switches. I'll keep going when it switches screens. Okay, there it is. So now with the learning models that we have, we tailored it to some of the concerns that parents have with virtual learning. Academic quality, we all make sure that we check that one off the list. Concerns about rigor, content depth, meaningful assessment. If you were to meet with any of the teachers one-on-one, they'll be able to tell you about the curriculum alignment and how success is measured in the classroom. So that's one concern that some parents have sometimes. Social emotional development. And again, we talked about how all of us are trained to add that component into the classroom. We have undergone, we've been through a lot of classes for that, and we are pretty skilled at doing that. And so technology and screen time, well, that's why we have the several learning models, because we want to make sure that we honor parents' concern about the screen time. And so that's again why we have that week in between that's built in, because we want to make sure that we are taking that into account because we know it's a lot. We know it's a challenge, along with there's some other suggestions for blue screen filters. Parent supervision, that's why we want to say, and support. Um, that's why we want to just have the parent lock in with the teacher at least once every session, the 8 weeks, so that we can say, okay, this is what I noticed. What do you notice? What is becoming maybe too much? How can we fix it? How can we help you support this scholar, even if they have an A, even if they're keeping up with the A? How can we support or push? And so that constant communication between the parent and the scholar is very important to us. Physical health, I know in my classes, we gonna dance, we gonna get up. What we used to do, pep talk, dance walk is all I need. So we can still do that when I say one. Clap your hands and clap, bounce. Oh, you clap and bounce. Why? I forgot the song. I haven't done it with them anymore in a long time. When I say one, we're gonna clap and bounce. So we're gonna still do that, and we have the gym class where there will be full out movement for them to dance and rock it out and have a good time. So that's great, great, great. Then structure and motivation. We will have a routine in our day. Everyone will have the routine that's there. We will make sure we have a consistent rhythm. If a teacher can't make it, I will do my best to be the substitute, and we'll rotate some substitutes so that nothing is lost and that their learning is cohesive. And then preparing for the future, that's where the elevation comes in. Even with the young ones, making sure they have a writing portfolio, making sure they have a space where they are building and collecting their work, because that's important. And I know some states need that. So we will be working and helping building a portfolio. And as the scholars get to the older age, again, there are a lot of different programs that we have. So just I wanted to say that first, because that is the basis for the learning models that we have. And so with the learning models, we have sacred space or the live classes. And so we do the interviews with the family to make sure, okay, this is what we expect in this. We call it sacred space because any and everybody can't just come in there. We want to talk with the family and say, we want to make sure that this learning is valuable. So we will meet with the families to tell them to go over the expectations and the knowledge and the basis with how we conduct ourselves in this sacred space. So that is an interview with the families because we want to keep it sacred for the teachers, for the scholars, for the parents. And that's a big conversation that we did have. We also have DIY or hybrid courses. Like my AP classes will meet once a week, and then they may come for a library time to work it out, because application is important. I can give them all this knowledge, and if they don't apply it, then it's like, okay, well, y'all just listen to me. So the application is important. We will again have the YouTube education station, which will be interactive. So some classes will be on there. Some classes for some instructors will be on OutSchool, which will kind of be like a DIY, anytime class. Some instructors will have heavily curriculum books that allow you to do it yourself. Kiswahili may have some of those flashcards and different things so that you can take Kiswahili in a tactile manner. And then everyone PD sessions. So we will have PD sessions to go discuss with parents how they can implement something. Like I've been doing workshops all year about how this is how you could take this book and do 5 different things with the book. And then teacher pay teacher, some type of curriculum downloads. So we have a lot of different learning models that will help our parents put together a schedule that's great for them. Support. You have this sheet in front of you, all of the support things that we have in place for families: initial meetings, orientation, surveys, grades and attendance reports. You will get that. Transcript services, virtual celebrations. So the goal is to make it as communal as possible. And then I have a special list on the board for those who need post high school transition plans, accommodations that they would need maybe in college and different things like that. I have a board member who specializes in that. We're looking for scholarships. And then we have Mama Imani. That's like a big support. She has the brain of a parent and knows what parents need. And she is awesome and amazing in that way. And to take a break from my voice, Mama Imani, do you want to say something, please, Mama Kambachile, about the parent support piece?
Yeah, boy. As my, I am mama to the scholars. They may not have come from my womb, but they've come from my 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 new brothers and sisters' wombs. Yeah, boy, my daughters and my kakas. You know, so I consider the parents my sisters and brothers, and and I am equally as interested in what's going on with my scholars as I am parents. So to connect and to understand, to understand kind of sometimes what's going on with the scholars, you definitely have to connect with the parents. So I'm we're family. It's always been family. And so that's where I operate from. And that's just African centeredness. So I always reach out to parents. I always check on. I'm not being nosy. I'm just checking on. Hey, haven't heard from you. How you doing? What's going on, sis? Or what's going on, mama? What's going on, baba? Just to just to make sure that even though it may be a virtual space, we are family and we stay connected. So yeah, boy.
Yes, and that's the big support ticket. So all of those things will be outlined in detail in a parent handbook. However, we just want to know that this is the space and the place that we support and we go through this together because it's gonna be worth it, Mama. When you get to the end. I did the full time and homeschooling three. I know it's a lot, and it was worth it. And so we want to keep just a push, make sure it's worth it. And Mama Nkabashile is the best at those things. So that's the support. Now we meet the E team. Call it the E team. Okay, the elevation team. We have Iya Okunfumike. She'll be working with the younger ones. Says she's a master student at here, there, everywhere. She does everything with her hands, from painting to making jewelry, and she has a lot of lovely little ones who will probably be the classmates. And so she'll be doing culture and character and governance and literacy, all of that together. So that's Iya Okunfumike. I told you a little bit about what I will be teaching: the rites of passage, the movement class, the bridge experiences, and then the our story, retelling our stories, as well as the Calabash Village. And so I'm going in order of the sheet. The sheet, were you all able to access it?
Indio.
Okay, so I'm going in order of the sheet schedule, so you'll be able to match it. Then you have Mama Kambashile, and I will let you talk a little bit about what you're going to offer.
Asante Sana, mama. So the first of all, thank you, mama. And thanks for those who will be watching the recording for showing up for Yeye Academy's open house for the first open house for the 2025-26 school year. I'm happy to be here with you and have the opportunity to share the math course called Math Roots Afro-Numeracy. This course will inspire our 3rd to 5th graders, and that doesn't mean it's a particular age range. It's just I want to make sure that we're not stuck, we're not boxed in. This is just, but anyway, it will inspire our scholars and parents and guardians as well by connecting our African lore, culture, people, and real world relevance without relying on rote memorization or disconnected drills. I really enjoy making sure that everyone comes along on our mathematical journey and that we have a living and loving classroom where, there may be some scholars who don't have any math wounds, and that's fine. And there may be some scholars that have math wounds from experiences in a classroom, and some may have wounds because they're carrying the math wounds of their parents. And so it's a safe space for all of us to learn and grow together in our journey. As I mentioned, well, I did mention before that just a little bit about myself, that I did graduate from Howard University with a degree in pure and applied mathematics. And I taught high school math for 3 years, which was basic math as well as Algebra 1 at OUSD, which is Oakland Unified School District in Oakland, California. I then started my homeschooling journey and started having babies. And that's where I unofficially met Mama Kemi at Yeye Educational Institute, as our eldest children were scholars at Yeye Educational Institute. I became the Yeye Middle School, a Kokonan, a mother hen of the middle scholars, beginning in 2019 until present. And I'm also teacher support. Just want to share that math roots, Afro numeracy will not lack in cultural relevant math curricula, assignments, or projects. I've designed it so that it will not have a Eurocentric approach to math, so that our watoto are encouraged and supported in connecting with our African self. And also that math will provide for engaging hands-on math experience rooted in African history and culture, and will support our watoto's passion and their opportunities for exploration.
All right, so there you have it, math roots. So I'm excited about that class for the young ones, because they're gonna have a good time listening to all of the ideas that you have. They're gonna have a really good time. Okay, then we have Mama
Watching the
Erica.
video, I was thinking about the free, offering, and I thought about doing an offering of a like a workbook on slime.
Ooh,
And then
that's nice.
and that, as I thought about it, big slime, and actually making black slime, and then learning about melanin through making black slime. And then I thought, well, what about going into like either the summer camps, or because I do want to travel, science labs.
Yes.
Going around and doing science labs with the black slime, and then introducing melanin, and that can be kind of an introduction to melanin, introduction to me, and introduction to my classes.
Okay, so that's Mama Erica, Mama Melanin, and she's so excited and has so many ideas for the young people. So that is Mama Erica. Then we have Sewa Sydney, another just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful instructor. and she is our Black psychology, African literature. And so she has a lot of great classes. Any questions about her classes? She has the Amos Wilson class. Her email address is at the bottom of that sheet, but she is bringing that healing from the psychological effects of oppression. And so that will typically be for our elders. She does do middle scholar. She does have a middle scholar art story class as well. And so her contact is at the bottom of that sheet. Then we have Baba Magwagwa.
Low self-esteem.
Big thing.
Yeah, boy. When she mentioned that, it is something that I've seen in most of my students, Mama. So I am an expert in math and science. And I've noticed that most of our children have low self-esteem when it comes to math and science. So what I'm selling is math and science is in their DNA, Mama. It is in their DNA. They are the inventors of math. Imhotep, all that Egyptian pyramids and stuff like that. All that math and science we have, they are the inventors. So if that math and science is in their DNA, then we need to build. So for me, I know they can understand. They can understand. Pam does all that math they can understand. But my job is to make sure that we build that self-esteem. So I'm selling the self-esteem. I want them to be proud and to be confident and say, math is part of them.
Okay, so that's Baba Magwagwa and his math and science classes. Then we have Mama Adia. I told you about her story in Stretch and all things science in our story. Her website is also at the bottom of that page, that information sheet. And then in addition, and I'll do a spotlight for the live, those were all the live classes, the live cultural classes. I will do a spotlight for the live cultural arts and diaspora. We have Mama Asha from Jamaica with her arts program, Sewa Nolu, South Africa. Then we have Mama Adi with her stories and stretch, bringing a lot of Akan culture. Baba Momar from Senegal, bringing in the drumming. I'm bringing in the grounding, elevation, and movement with Ifa culture in the Calabash village, the storytelling experience from stories throughout the diaspora. So our live arts classes are from all over the diaspora and deeply rooted in people who have studied all their lives that have been born into it. So I'm excited, and I will do a feature on the arts. I will get their pictures and everything else so everyone can have a chance to meet them virtually. So now, before I get into any questions, I want to make sure that all the information is there. Stepping into the elevation zone on the sheet that I gave you, you do see the upcoming dates because yes, we are launching, putting everything out there. And we do have a plan to make everything solid. So we want to make sure that people know we got a plan to make everything solid. We are really building the best thing that we can for our community. So you have this sheet here that talks about how we're going to implement the rollout of what's happening with the academy, when the welcome letter will be sent. The full available list of classes will be sent by April 15th. So we're all getting our last minute. This is what I want to offer. This is what I want to offer so that parents can see the full list. And then there will be an expression of interest form. Then we'll follow up with a parent handbook, which will dictate. You will have Nearpod. You will have no red ink. You will have these things at your scholar's disposal. Then we'll continue to do open houses. We'll release an official schedule in May. We'll have early bird registration specials. Then they'll have summer registration specials. So we'll have all kinds of registration specials. Let me go back to it. Okay, so all of that is there. Then it tells when the orientation and everything is there. So you should be able to have those dates and know those dates. We're going to stick to those dates as best as possible within a couple of days, so we to make sure that our parents are informed. And then from that, the official process will be open house, registration, do the placement in the program, because there'll be some hybrid selections that you may want to have, official class registration, and orientation. So that's what we'll be setting up and sharing with the parents. So all of that will be supported. Everything will be completed by August 1st, and probably beforehand. Some last minute notes. Our guarantees with Yeye's Academy is you will know who your instructors are before the school year start. You know where they stand, what they want to teach, what's their goals, how they're going to love on your children. You'll know what your scholars are learning. You'll be able to see the results. You will have a freedom of choice in payment options per 9 weeks. You're guaranteed a schedule that follows a full school year. So we'll make sure there are no holes. You know, we would design a schedule that is affordable. And if for some reason a live class does not work out, we will move families into a comparable DIY program. So those are our guarantees, because we need to serve our community to the best of our ability. And we want everyone to know, keep in mind, the classes are first come, first serve. Because I've been in a class with 40 scholars virtual. It was a challenge. We made it happen. And it was a challenge. So when that registration goes out, just keep in mind, if you want a class, go ahead and sign up for it. So now, questions, comments, concerns. I hope I didn't go too fast. I'm the power hour queen, and I like to stick to that. But let me know if I need to go back over something. What are some extra questions about a class, about anything? If you have them, and then I will take them in the chat. All right. And
I have
Mama,
a
you can.
quick question.
Mm-hmm.
The junior and senior vocal coach, does that mean high school or
High
middle school and
school.
high school?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She's
Middle
gonna.
school and high school
No, she's gonna work with high school.
only?
So juniors and seniors. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
But right now, that's what she said she's gonna do. Now, maybe y'all ask Mama Adia if she want to do some vocal coaching.
India. India.
But yeah, she's only gonna work with juniors and seniors. Okay. All right. Was everything else clear? Because I tried to put everything in there that I thought people would want to know. All right. So if everything's clear,
India.
all right. So I always pick. So even I was sending this out with people who are doing the replay. Every time we have an open house, I'm going to spin the wheel. And then those who register from the open house will have the prize that goes with the month. So there's a particular code for each month. And I'm going to spin the wheel and see what this is April's. April's bonus is a free bundle. Okay. So excellent. So that would be a free bundle. That means if it's DIY, just a combination live class, DIY, virtual class, we'll put together a free bundle of the choice. I think that's a pretty good combination. And so for that, let me see what that code is, and then we will be done. Let me get the code for the free bundle. And then that's the last part. And so how that works is once you register, I will be putting in these codes. And if you get the bundle and you enter the code, this month's code is Wisdom Basket. You select the bundle and you use Wisdom Basket, then that bundle will be free. So saying that you register for the live class, you'll get a DIY or with it. It's something else, another DIY course. I have in the DIY course, I need to do a whole section on that. It'll be in the the brochure, the list of classes for the DIY. Okay, I think that is it. We are done. And so I thank you, Mama, for attending live, and for those who will have the who will be doing the recording. And so to everyone, you all know how to reach me. Look out for the newsletters. If you have any questions, we'll be adding more information, being more specific for each open house, having more things available. So I look forward to seeing everyone next time, or when the semester starts in the fall of 2025. All right, peace and blessings. Odabo.
Asante sana.